Everybody, this is Ronar, and welcome back to some Beyond Legendary. So, this is going to be our team. What I'm going to do at the start of these mission episodes now is I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm going to go through each soldier, so those of you guys who don't watch the strategic layer stuff will at least have an idea of what each of these soldiers do. And there's also just a whole bunch of different soldiers, so I want everyone to just be able to keep up with what's going on here. So the Shiv over here is going to be our tank. Just a soldier that is not actually a soldier. This guy doesn't get EXP and stuff like that, but they've got more ablative armor than most of our other units, got a little bit more HP and a point of armor, as well as some bonus defense. That 10 defense will help this thing stay alive a little bit more. Just got a basic gun over here, 4 to 6 damage, and capable of doing a little bit of shred. It's also capable of applying aid protocol to allies, scouting with a scanner, as well as a scanning protocol, as well as a bulldoze protocol, which allows this thing to run through walls and destroy cover. Over here, we've got Isbal. This is going to be our fire specialist, our arsonist. Arsonist is capable of launching a flamethrower. This is a aim check flamethrower, so it will have to shoot around cover, so getting flanks with this guy is still important. And they've also comes with a blast canister, which allows him to do damage to mechanical enemies, because this is explosive damage and not flame damage. Over here we've got Eula. She is going to be our roboticist, capable of doing certain types of hacks against robotic enemies like drones. She's carrying a flashbang, and she has scouting capabilities, so she has all sorts of support abilities. She's also carrying a hunting shotgun, which has long-range capabilities due to the slugger perk, so she can actually shoot her shotgun as if it was an assault rifle from long range. We've also got Tobata over here. Tobata is our Dragoon, capable of applying shields to allies. He's got 2 charges of that, as well as a heavy plasma blaster. Carrying a cannon over there. Very standard and straightforward. And finally over here is our Marauder Viper. This thing is capable of shooting twice with its assault rifle type-ish weapon, as well as applying ice effects and stuff. Alright, let's begin. So I think to start off with, we will start by moving with our... I try not to move with the Shiv first. If you move with the Shiv first, this thing has very high detection radius. It's not very stealthy, so it's very likely that if I run up to here, a drone or something over here in this corner might find us. Also, this is the corner of the map, it seems. Yeah, this is the corner of the map. So we need to be heading up this way. So why don't we go up to either here or here? I'm thinking we'll go with our flamethrower guy first.
Yeah.
Run Isbal all the way up. Isbal sees nothing. I'm gonna give you one little dash up to here, and if we see nothing there, we'll move the rest of our squad up. Next up, we'll move our Shiv, now that it's clear. And I think the rest of our team can just move around the cover like so.
Good to go.
And let's get our team all the way up. We got 7 turns left. Make sure to make use of those turns. There's usually not a lot of turns on these timed hack missions, so we do want to move fast. I'm going to start by moving Isbal all the way up here. Oh, there we go. First pot of enemies right there.
Without the introduction of human DNA,
Viper, Celipid Grub, and Frostroid. Let's begin.
Now show their true form. A purely reptilian.
Now, this is our first time facing off against the Viper class. So I'll show you guys what might be a bit different about it in Beyond Legendary. So here's all of its stats. Here's all its abilities. It has the ability Evasive now, so unlike before, it didn't have Evasive. So you'll see right here it's got 100% extra dodge. This means that any attacks against it, let me see if I can showcase that. There we go. See how all of our hit chance is pretty much nullified because of its dodge stat? Until it gets hit, it doesn't lose its evasive bonus, so usually it'll be very difficult to one-shot a Viper. Now another thing about Viper AI that's different is that the Poison Spit is now a free action, so it's now able to spit poison and tongue grab, or spit poison, tongue grab, and shoot all at once if it misses the tongue grab. It also does not necessarily default to binding the target that's right next to it. It will tend to run backwards to safety and then do the tongue grab, which makes it harder to rescue your bound teammates. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, but For now, what can we do here? We've got a flamethrower, so I'm thinking we just go for the flamethrower. We can probably get the grub and at least prevent it from doing certain attacks. I think the grubs aren't completely shut down though, like they can still do their poison bomb attack. So ideally we still kill this thing if possible. We can also shoot the flamethrower. Flamethrower doesn't really go through the cover anymore. I think that might have been a change that happened recently. We can still use our chemthrower suppression, and that will force them to move if they don't want to suffer suppression penalties. So I'm thinking we do the chemthrower suppression possibly. Think about what we do after we take our actions though. I'm thinking for now we'll just try to get some damage against that Celatid grub, so why don't we have our Viper Marauder here take some shots. First shot over there. Got a bit of a graze. Let's try one more time. Unfortunate. Okay, not really going to be connecting with most of our attacks here, it seems. I think what we'll do is we'll run up with the Shiv. Try to take out that grub if possible. Excellent shot right there. And it drops some loot. When it comes to the aliens, I tried really hard to kill them with bullets and not destroy their bodies, because they drop really good loot, particularly Illyrium cores, which is quite valuable for your economy. It's really hard to get a lot of supplies in Beyond Legendary, so you should try very, very hard to maintain your Illyrium core count. Now we got a Frostroid and we got a Viper. I'm thinking what we're going to do right now with Tobata, oops, that was a misclick, that's fine though, is we're going to actually activate the shield protocol on Isbal. And the reason for that is because this Viper will most likely try to spit poison on the nearest group of enemies, which are these two right there. They're clumped up together, the Viper is very likely to spit poison on them. Shield Protocol has an added effect where you're immune to poison until the shielding wears off, and the Shiv is just immune to poison because it's a robot. So by doing this, the Viper will waste its poison action on this group over here. Now it'll still do tongue grabs and it'll still shoot, so we just want to kind of get out of the way, I guess. Meanwhile, we're going to move up Eula over here. This droid is mechanical, so we could try to control it. The Haywire Protocol doesn't seem particularly strong here. I'm not too scared about the Frost Droid's actions, like it only does 2 to 3 damage, so it's not a whole bunch of damage. If we fail this hack, that's fine. I'm just gonna go for a stun against it. And we do get the stun, nice. There wasn't really anything else Eula could do this round besides maybe throw the flashbang on the Viper. But overall, I would rather the Viper use its tongue grab rather than do a shooting action. If it uses tongue grab, we can easily send in the Shiv next round to just kind of free this guy or throw a flashbang or do something against it. Now then, that thing is stunned, so all that's left for us is to throw a Chemthrower suppression out against this Viper. Now, if it tries to move, we'll see if it gets burned there. But it chooses not to move and decides to just shoot. As you guys can see, its accuracy got lowered down to only a 50% chance to hit against that Shiv, so that's pretty good. Now, it's pretty hard to get this Viper from where we're standing. I guess I could run up to here. That's still not a flank against it, though. I have to be, like, here. And if I run up to here and Flamethrower, there's a chance that we activate stuff and then we get shot in the back. That would be not preferable, so what we'll do instead is we'll take this time to reload our Flamethrower, throw a grenade on top of this snake, try to destroy its cover, and maybe get rid of its a little evasive bonus if possible. Now, unfortunately, this grenade is being very finicky there, but we do get it, centered directly on top of that Viper. Beautiful damage. It still has half cover from the seat, but it no longer has full cover from that wall. So that is good for us overall. Now then, let's come up to this Frostroid down here. If we activate something, we'll run Eula back. Seems like there's nothing else out there, so we should be free to take the shot now. It does connect. Frostroid destroyed.
Good.
Excellent work. Then after that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the Shiv around the side so we can shoot that Viper. Now the Shiv's gun is a little bit strange. All the cannon-based weapons are a bit strange with their range tables. How it works is you don't want to be too close to the enemies, but you also don't want to be too far from the enemies. You want to be at like some perfect mid-range against them. Unfortunately, not getting a lot of damage off against that Viper. Let's see if we can hit it maybe with our Viper. Gonna hit this thing with a Bitter Frostbit. Get some icicles on it. That will also lower its dodge stat, or just straight up kill it. That works too. Oh, isn't that a good move? Lowers the enemy's dodge stat as well as just kills them. Nice. Alright, rest of our squad's gonna run forward. Try to get in position to do the hack. Hack is right there. We'll move our Dragoon first, I think. Got both the loots. Experimental magazine is pretty nice. It sells for quite a bit, and we also got an advanced laser sight. Delirium core, very good pickup. The meld, if you guys played Long War 1, or XCOM 1 rather, is a special chemical that's needed to be used to build giant robot soldiers. That is something that I'm very excited to be using. Also, gene mods too.
Okay.
I haven't really played around with the gene mods a lot, although I do know that they're quite powerful. Here comes the next group of enemies. We've got a Sectoid Observer, Sentry, and Frostroid once again. Okay, now the Observer is immune to explosives and chemicals, so we won't really be able to use Isbal against it. We got Eula over here, we got the Shiv, we have our Snake, and we have Tobata. I believe the Sectoid isn't immune to the Plasma Blaster, however, so that's good. What we might do right now is we might just hide behind this doorway and force the enemies into us. Let's do that. This door is still closed, so I'm going to keep it closed. And just try to get the entire team into the middle over here. Most of those enemies shouldn't be able to affect us from back here. And this might seem a bit crazy because we're basically just standing out in the open. But as long as the door is closed, the enemies shouldn't be able to see us, and we should be able to get through this. Do a quick reload. Gonna wait one round, see if the enemies will come towards us. They are gonna go on Overwatch, actually. Interesting. Let's open this door. Alright, first enemy on Overwatch. We've got the Frostroid somewhere back there. We don't visually see it, but our characters do actually see it. And then there's a Sectoid Observer up there. Now, he's completely flanked, so we should be able to get a nice and easy hit against him. Now, if I could just get past this Overwatch somehow without getting tagged, that would be nice. I think I'm going to get hit by Overwatch from that Sectoid, unfortunately. I'm trying really hard not to get hit by that Sectoid, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Maybe we let Tobata take this first shot and try to hit that thing. We've also got a System Infiltration. This reduces the enemy's hack stat, and we get to use it twice. If I do want to take control of that thing, I could use System Infiltration, but I'm more interested in getting the objective over there. I think what we'll do first is we're going to activate a shield protocol on one of our units. Probably give it to the Snake first. I want the Snake to be tanky, so when it runs in, if it takes any overwatches, it won't take any injuries at least. Then after that, Tobata over here is just going to be taking a shot. Apparently that thing is in a flank. I can't tell where that thing is exactly. I don't think it's actually there. Sometimes the visuals mess up. I feel like the enemy could be standing here, but for some reason the visual has it placed over there. Regardless, we'll take a shot at that Sectoid. That thing has a lot of HP, so we want to try really hard to injure it. Not going to connect, unfortunately. Let's see if our Shiv can get this guy. What we're going to do is we're going to take this time to aid protocol the Snake. I'm really going to be running the Snake up in a really aggressive position. I want to make sure that the Snake has as much defenses as it can get. Once again, try and remove that guy's Overwatch. Not going to connect again. Come on, guys. Seems like our team is struggling a bit here with the getting the hits on the enemy's part. What we'll do next is we'll move the Snake up, maybe up to probably just here for now. Aid protocol does help him out quite a bit. Even if he did get hit, we have plenty of shielding. And oh my goodness, we got more enemies. That is probably the remaining enemies on the map. At the very least, we found them all now. Okay. I think we really badly want to kill off the Observer this round if possible. We also have a flamethrower from this guy, which can hit all the way up to here. We need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm assuming the Frostroid is standing here, so we probably need to move forward 5 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not really many good spots to be, though. You got some shielding, so it's okay if you're in a slightly more flankable position, but if you could just get that Frostroid, that would be nice. Now you might be thinking that it's a Frost Droid, so it's probably immune to flames, but all Frost enemies are actually weak to fire, even if they're mechanical. Unfortunately, I gauged this wrong. He's not actually standing there, it seems. Oh boy, this thing's immune to explosive and fire damage. His ball isn't really going to get to do much here, is he? And this position is kind of a weak position right now. I could go for a flashbang on the sectoid, that's one option. I'm gonna get Eula up to here. This is a full cover spot that is indestructible, so the fire shouldn't affect her. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I thought I could still see the sectoid. Oh, man. I apparently did this turn completely wrong. Alright, let's just flashbang that guy. I read the preview wrong. Apologies for that, guys. We still get a shot, so let's take another shot at the sectoid over here. At least try to get some damage off against it. Well, at least we got some damage off against it. Now, this guy with the flamethrower, you can't affect the sectoid, but you can affect these guys down here, so I want you to come a little bit closer to that direction if possible. Bring you all the way back around here so you don't get hit by the overwatches. Next round, we're going to go take care of them, and I forgot to throw my evac zone out, so that's something else I messed up on. That Advent Sniper hit hard, ouch. Pathfinder's coming around the sides. Oof, big hit. That's why we have shielding. Here comes a sectoid, he's actually double moving away to safety. Sentry is all the way in the back on Overwatch, and Frostroid is also running away on Overwatch. I don't know why they're running away. Let's get our evac zone out before I forget. Maybe have it around here. I don't think we need to be too far up to get to the hack. Let me see where our hacker is. To get to the hack, I actually have to be like up to here, it seems. The gear icon only shows up if we're like at this range. And since there's no cover around here, this is kind of like a no man's land here. We can't exactly approach very easily. What we'll do now is we're going to send our Shiv out. Try to have this thing provide more vision for our team. So we know that there's a Pathfinder down there, there's a Sniper up there. We could also Gremlin heal Eula if we want her to not take too much damage, and we probably don't want her to take too much damage. I'm thinking what we'll do is we might try to run Tobata up to like this spot over here where he can take cover against most of this stuff, and try to take care of the enemies down in that direction somehow. I won't be able to hit that Pathfinder from here, at least not easily. We could try to approach him though, and maybe try to get him with a little bit of a flamethrower. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try to hit him with the flamethrower, and if we can't get him, then we'll think of something else. It is going to be checked by the half cover here. Not gonna connect. Nice try. Did his tile get lit on fire? There's like 2 chances that they have of getting lit on fire. Unfortunately not. And Eula is not in a good spot to be taking very aggressive actions here. Since this Shiv doesn't really have any better moves, I'm gonna have this Shiv go for the heal on Eula instead.
What's your battle plan?
Down to the side. Ooh, Overwatch. Got hit by the 18%. Those things generally aren't super accurate, so I don't really think about them too much. Those things have low accuracy at long ranges, and since that thing ran back, I wasn't thinking about it too much. But unfortunately, it did connect its shot. Good damage from Eula, though. Alright, finally things are looking a little bit more up for our team. Let's see if we can follow this up a little bit more. Now, I believe this counts as a bullet.
I'm going.
I believe I've used the Plasma Blaster on these sectoids before, and it did affect them. Let me just check to make sure this actually works. It does work. Nice job. Sectoid Abjurer is downed. Now, all that's left is to take care of everything else around here. I don't really have too many more actions with our teammates remaining. What I can do, however, is maybe spit some ice on this guy. Yeah, I think that's what we do. We'll spit some ice on this guy, probably. That'll lower his mobility down a bit, because with 18 mobility, this guy can run really, really far, and I don't want him to run around to his ball sides and hit him. These Pathfinders, they do a lot of critical damage, so if you look at their main damage, it only does 1 to 3, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you look at their crit damage, they can do up to 7 damage in one shot. That hurts a bunch. So if possible, I would like to lower his mobility just a tiny bit. That chill is going to help out with that. Then after that, our snake, don't really exactly have the best actions here though. Next turn I definitely have to run our Dragoon all the way in. I think I might just Overwatch. Try to catch something with that Overwatch. Sniper is just going to keep on shooting at our ship since now it's the most easy target for them to hit. There we go, Isball's fine. Was not able to get around to our flanks. Here comes the sentry. Shiv might be in a little bit of trouble if all of them start landing their shots, but the Shiv is kind of a cheap unit. It's something that eventually gets replaced. I'm not too concerned if it does eventually die. We need to start moving up like this round, otherwise we're just not getting that objective. I'm trying to find a spot where I can like start reducing the hack defense of the objective if possible, although it doesn't seem like that's happening here. Alright, regardless, let's go around over to here. It doesn't look like we can get the flank, but if we open the door here, that should achieve the flank, and now we should be able to light them on fire. Unless we miss. Okay, we do hit him good. This guy's on fire at least, so that's awesome. Now then, how do we get up to the objective? We can once again attempt a Haywire Protocol on that Frost Droid, but I think it's more important for Eula to start moving up. That way next round she can peek around here and possibly get the objective, while maybe Tobata tries to reduce the objective's hack defense. This does mean Eula will be in a slightly more precarious position with that half cover. We'll probably have her move up to here and hunker. I don't really see any better positions for her to move to this round.
There is no time to
So
delay.
it just makes the most sense for me to just do this with her. Move up, hunker
Rather
down.
than get payback on a piecemeal basis, I think I'll make things easier for myself and wait for a day when I can settle the score once and for all.
Now, unfortunately, these guys are hiding behind indestructible cover, so I won't be able to just activate Bulldoze Protocol and try to run through them. Maybe against this sniper that's possible. I'm not quite certain, though. And we're kind of stuck in a long, drawn-out firefight type engagement against these guys. I kind of wish I brought a few more units that could kind of brute force this situation, but it seems like that won't be possible. They're all behind indestructible cover, so this grenade isn't going to help out very much. I think what we'll try to do is we'll try to Bulldoze Protocol that sniper's cover. But let's see if that's actually possible. We're going to have to run through some Overwatches here, and no, it does not seem possible. Doesn't seem like we can break through that little bit of cover there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just try to make that sniper as uncomfortable as possible by just running right next to him. We don't have to kill everything. All we have to do is grab the objective and leave. So it's not like we're forced to fight this out if we don't want to. For this round, we just reload and shoot or Overwatch or something. Yeah, just take a shot. Just do something. I kind of don't want the Shiv to die just yet, if possible. I'm going to have the Shiv maybe aid Protocol itself. Give itself a little bit more defenses. I'm not going to use the Bulldoze Protocol, mostly because it won't destroy anything anyways. I'll just aid Protocol myself and just try to get a bit of chip damage off against that sniper, perhaps. Missing both of our shots, unfortunately. And finally, we got Tobata over here. Oh, Tobata, where do I put you where it would be safe? None of these spots are very good. I could try putting Tobata here, but I kind of don't want Tobata sitting in half cover after running an Overwatch. He does have a point of armor, so he will be kind of a bulky unit. But I'd like to not deal with that if I could help it. And I don't want him standing out in the open. There really is no good spot for him. I think we'll just go around the sides with Eula, back down to here. Next round, you'll just pop up the front.
Go, go, go!
Help out with the hacking. We'll see if that works out for us. Alright, Pathfinder on the side burns to death. That's excellent. Here comes another shot from the sniper. Our Shiv is taking a beating. It might actually go down. While I do expect my Shivs to die eventually at some point in the campaign, because they're kind of expendable, I don't expect them to die this early, which is kind of unfortunate. Come on, miss, Frostroid, miss! No! Alright, they got our Shiv. Quite unfortunate, but what can you do? Okay, let's get the hack this round. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to send in... kind of a risky position here, though. If I can just remove one or two enemies, that would be really helpful. There's no good positions for us to move to. We're just not in the position to do this. I might just have to move to a spot and grab the objective and not do the hack reduction. At the very least, this move is considered safe.
Alright, I'll go.
Let's get Tabata up here. He might get hit by the sentry from the sides, but at the very least, he's got good armoring. And I don't think I'll be able to use my system infiltrations here. But let's do the hack and just quickly grab this so we don't have to worry about the timer anymore. Go for that. Nice try, we're gonna get nothing for our greed.
I've got access. We've confirmed successful acquisition
Okay,
of the
then.
files. Eliminate any remaining hostiles in the area.
If I move Isbal up to here, next round I can run up behind those guys and get a nice flamethrower off against them from like around here probably. So we're just gonna have you here ready to take your actions. You're just gonna hunker down.
I'd rather throw myself off the roof.
Everybody else, do whatever it takes to survive. I think Eula probably just needs some medkit and hunker down. She can also run back to here and overwatch the incoming reinforcements, but I suspect they'll drop here so her overwatches won't really do much. I think for the most part I just want Eula to have HP, so let's give her the medkit heal so she doesn't actually drop in one 4 damage hit. Just keep her hunkered down here, and maybe what I'll do is I'll take one shot at that sniper and either overwatch or shoot twice. If I do a lot of damage on the first shot, I'll probably shoot twice. Not a whole bunch of damage, unfortunately. I think we overwatch. Ooh, is that a stun lancer? Okay, we need to deal with that thing. They haven't activated yet, so that's good. Bit more damage on this sniper down here. He does have to reload, so he's kind of positioned really poorly, in fact. That guy's out of ammo, so he's not on Overwatch. Here comes a Frost Bomb. Ouch! Okay, it doesn't do too much damage, but it does inflict chill and slows us down a little bit. Okay then, since we weren't able to get the objective using the hack defense reduction, why don't we reduce the Frostroid's hack defense? I'm going to use Tabata to reduce that thing's hack defense just a little bit. And then we can probably shut it down for one turn, and that next round we can just escape. Or next round we can escape. There we go. If we were a bit more greedy, we could have tried taking control of it, but I wasn't really feeling it though. Alright, the drone is stunned. Now, our flamethrower guy can either shut down the sentry or the sniper. I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll go for the sniper with the snake. The snake, let's move you up to here. There we go. Finish off that sniper if you can. Actually, don't even shoot it. Can you just grenade it? No, you can't grenade it. Just shoot it. Oh, it's still alive! How is it still alive? Am I more scared of the sniper or the sentry? Technically the sniper does more damage. Eula, if you could kill that sniper, that would make this entire turn so much easier, but you just can't see it from any of these spots. I'm not standing you out in the open to shoot against that thing. I just don't trust that at all. This guy is technically out of ammo. If I come up to here, he might be forced to move and then reload. So yeah, let's do that. I'll bring Isbal up to here. Now, instead of using the flamethrower, I'm going to use this canister. It's still a kill as long as I hit him, and I'll have extra flamethrower ammo to get this guy next round if I need to.
Screw the rules, I have money.
Nice job to Isbal finally removing that Advent Sniper. He had us pinned down with sniper fire for the longest time. After that, I just want Eula to be hunkered down so this guy doesn't one-shot her. Actually, no, he can't. He can't move and shoot. He has to reload and then move, or reload and shoot, in which case he can't see her. So instead, what I should actually be doing with Eula is possibly overwatching. So that if these guys come in, we can at least tag them with damage. Let's do that. They are going to be coming on yellow alert, so there might be some risk. Oh, interesting. The blast canister uses up flamethrower ammo also. I'll keep that in mind. It's not a separate thing. I thought it was a separate thing, so I didn't think that it would use up my flamethrower ammo. If that's the case, what we'll do is I'll probably just move you up into this full cover up here. He is going to be taking a move back. Does he reload? He does reload. Excellent. Now, that Stun Lancer and group are right there. I really badly do not want them to activate. So I'll probably leave Eula here for one more round, most likely. This droid is stepping back up, and that sentry is shooting again this round. I won't be able to reach them with anyone. Nate can't get him either. We can do this. We can Bitter Frostbite that guy. Let's start with that. That's finally off cooldown. And maybe, just maybe, we can roll 3 damage on that grenade and just finally end him. There we go. Finally got rid of that sentry. Perfect. Now that the sentry is dead, we can actually start focusing on these guys over here. Since there's a wall over here, I shouldn't be activating them if I move inside of here. So let's do that and try to take a big hit on that Frost droid. Excellent shot. Frost droid downed. And now our position is a lot safer than before. Now, I don't know if running down to here and here will activate the Stun Lancer, but if I do that, and it does activate the Stun Lancer, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I'm actually going to leave Eula here and not move her. She is at risk of yellow alert. There's a 25% chance that each of them will take a shot. Hopefully she'll be okay. And here they come. We did manage to tag the Bio Trooper, so at the very least we know he won't be taking a shot. It's only these 2 Stun Lancers that we have to worry about. Alright, let's see if Eula gets through this round. He does, perfect.
This is Firebrand. It's time to
Not the best mission, we did lose a Shiv, but at the very least, we won the mission, have the objective, we are out of here, and we all got EXP.
Already there.
Alright, squad, let's go home. Oof. A bit rough. I feel like I played this a little bit poorly. Maybe I could have had a slightly better team composition. This team was not very good at brute forcing certain situations where we would be kind of caught in a stalemate sort of situation, which lasted just a few more turns than I would have liked. Didn't get a really good chance to get a good hack against the objective. That would have been nice to be able to get that large intel cache. But that's alright. It's only 20 intel. It's not the end of the world to miss out on that 20. We still get the objective, and that means we get the 20 intel reward for doing the mission, so that's good. Let's head back to base, and we will figure out what to do next. Alright, here we are back at base. You guys can hear the sad music because the Shiv did die. We value all life, including robot life. Here at XCOM, we fight for everyone, not just humans. Not just for the aliens, not just for the clones, but also for the robots. Alright, we're going to be taking our armor protocol. I'm just going to do the rank ups here. It'll be a little bit quicker than searching them up in the armory. Okay then, and starting today, I think we will start doing our strategic layer after our missions, rather than making them into separate episodes. I think the strategic layer is now going to not be as long as before. We won't be spending like 3 hours in the geoscape just looking at soldiers' abilities and stuff. We've ranked up pretty much all of our people, I think. Now then, back over here, we have resistance contacts, so we can get extra contacts over there. And we have 20 more intel. 25-ish more intel. Before we pick that up, we're going to keep on scanning here and try to find our first few liberation missions if possible. Hybrid materials is complete. And alien biotech, or no, not biotech, what is it? Is it,
Commander.
What else did we need? I think it was modular weapons, that's the one. Modular weapons and hybrid materials are needed for laser weapons, and that will be our first weapon upgrades.
Valuable applications stemming from this technology.
Okay, let's keep on scanning over here.
As soon as the research is
Now, when we finished hybrid materials, we got a lot of unlocks. Most of those are things that we won't be seeing until much later on, but there is one unlock in particular that I want to actually be equipping on all of our soldiers, which we will be doing starting now, in fact. Now, this is our first liberation mission for this region, so that's a good find. Found it was a good amount of time on it, too. 7 days is quite a lot. 30 intel, hack the workstation. We'll once again send in a hacker unit. Gobata will be our hacker. There's no other effects on this mission, so we will just bring whatever feels right. I'm thinking we'll bring the same team again as before. We'll have Isbal over here with us. Maybe we'll grab the... Sure, why not? Let's grab the Viper Marauder. Have these guys together. And finally... running a bit low on soldiers to run with. We'll grab Bobo for this one. We can either start training up our Rook or train up our Stealthy Snake. I'm thinking we train up Stealthy Snake a bit. Let's do that. Also, Stealthy Snake still doesn't have a name, so if you guys want to be a member of the squad, let me know in chat. You guys will have a chance to become Stealthy Snake over here. Alright, so this is the new equipment that was unlocked with hybrid materials. We get access to the nanoscale vest. This is the same nanoscale vest that the Advent Troopers have, which gives them all their bulkiness. So you get 2 bonus health, you lose a point of mobility, as with all items, and you also have a reduced crit chance against us. Now, if you're being flanked by the enemies, it brings like the crit chance from 40% down to like 30%. It's probably, like, it matters, but it's not going to save you that much if you're getting flanked by multiple guys. However, when you're getting shot at through cover, you usually have like a 3%, 4% chance to get crit. This will prevent that from happening, and this is one of my favorite little items to have in the early game. A utility item that I value quite heavily. I'm going to build a bunch of those if I have the money for it, and I do. Grab a couple of nanoscale vests. And we can probably start removing these Xeno medkits now. I don't actually know how different they are from the, I think they might have been obsoleted, because the person in charge of Long War the Chosen finally made it so that the Xeno medkit is not necessary. Because before there was no animation for the aliens to use a regular medkit, so they kind of just standardized it a little bit. There we go, nano medkits on a majority of our team. Perfect. And it might not seem like a lot, 2 HP. How would you quantify that, right? Well, let's look at Bobo over here. Bobo naturally has 5 health. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Bobo naturally has 5 health without the nanoscale armor. Plus 2 HP, well, how much is 2 of 5? That is approximately 40% of 5 health. So this is a 40% increase in your survivability. That's a big number. Very big number. Might not seem like it, but a lot of the enemies, as you guys have seen in the field, is like advent sentries, right? They do somewhere between 2 to 5 damage. With 5 HP, you can get one-shot by an advent sentry, but with 7 HP, you are a lot less likely to get one-shot, unless something like crits you really, really hard with a high roll. Alright, and I think this team is looking pretty solid. Let's send them out.
Sky Ranger deployed. In position to drop.
Okay, Liberation Mission number 1 has been found in that region. As we start working up our Liberation missions, the missions will get tougher and tougher until eventually we unlock the Network Tower and the HQ Assault, which are 2 very unique type of missions for Long War. Let's keep on looking for another Liberation in this region down here. And there we go, we found both our Liberations in these regions. Perfect. Now over here, we don't really have as good of a squad to do missions with. What do we do here with you guys? Look over here, I got a couple of wounded people, but we have a lot of sharpshooters, and sharpshooters aren't exactly the best soldiers to bring on liberation missions. Do we maybe have a different mission that we can pull a team back from? I have that rook, I can take the rook. Oh. I kind of want to do all of these missions, though. I kind of don't want to back out on any of these.
The elders don't make a habit of looking for me.
I can spend 30 intel to bring back a team a little bit sooner. We can boost the infiltration. This will increase infiltration amount by 50%.
I just thought maybe I'd come up with something new.
But I kind of don't want to spend 30 intel this early on. I want to spend that 30 intel on something more valuable, like other missions. I think we should pull back a squad. Which squad do we pull back, though? All of these missions are super important. I can't pull back any of them. I think we'll try to do this mission with this squad over here. So we'll send in the rook. We'll send in our sharpshooters. Now, sharpshooters are not particularly good at timed missions. However, we can just treat them like glorified rookies. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna give them the ceramic plating and a whole bunch of frag grenades and try to just bomb our way through this mission. I think that's the best way to handle this situation. It's gonna be one of those really awkward types of missions, but hey, if we pull this off, we can get a good amount of rewards here. Maybe we just grab grenades on everyone. Yeah, that sounds fine, I guess. Yeah, let's do this. Let's grab grenades on everyone. Maybe what I'll do is I'll train up one more rookie here. I was planning on turning Stay Tasty into another shinobi so I could have 2 shinobis in the squad. I'll take some Mav over here and do a random promote on this fellow. And we'll see how effective some Mav is. As a soldier. We'll give you the Whippet Shotgun here. The Whippet Shotgun does 4 to 8 damage. Does quite a lot of damage in fact, but it requires point blank to be shot effectively, and it also has -3 armor piercing, which means if the enemies have armor, our damage goes from 4 to 8 down to 1 to 5 damage. So it's very imperative that we shred all of the target's armor if we want to be able to use this effectively. But I think you guys can handle this. Let's get out there. Got another mission to be done here. There goes the Bradford Ranger off into the sunset. Okay, we found both our liberations over there. Now we can head over here and pick up our resistance contact. That will increase the contact count that we can make by 1. Another mission. Man, look at all these good missions that we can't do.
I think you will
Only
find
I
our
had my
results
people
have
not get
exceeded
wounded too much early
expectations.
on. Alright, a bunch of equipment just got unlocked. I won't be able to go through all of those for you guys, but all you guys have to know is that we can now put weapon mods on our guns. We've unlocked a few little utility items that we'll probably never really touch for this campaign. And also, we've unlocked laser weapons over here.
I had
This will be our first big upgrade. We're going to be waiting for that to happen.
Notify you as soon as the report
And
is
hopefully that'll happen before the first HQ assault. Now that we have finished finding all the important missions, what we should be doing is we should hang out in Western US. The enemies are going to be trying to put more strength into this region. See how the vigilance here is 7? Strength here is only 2. They want to shove more strength in here. I want to try to intercept any convoys that might try to put strength in here, and if we can destroy those, we permanently remove a point of strength on the entire map.
Setting course for
And that will be
Sector
really
9,
good for us.
Western
And we get all the
United
supplies
States.
too. That's also really good for us. Alright, but this mission is complete. Or rather, infiltrated. And now it's time for us to do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. We will be back next time with a UFO raid. We've been waiting for this, actually. If we complete this, we not only get enemy material, but we also get Avenger Power +1. It's going to be a pretty tough mission, though. This is going to be very heavily guarded, and we're going to be seeing a lot of high HP enemies on this mission. Till next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what your favorite parts of today's episodes were. And thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye.